Alright, my latest projects are getting a few things done on this car. I've got the put hood pins on it. That's kind of a thing that Mopar did on some of their cars. You find it more on like a 340 swingers like I had that had those on there, but I'm going to make this car what I want, so I'm adding all the little bells and whistles. I've got the front bumper put back on. The balance is back on, so that kind of completes the front end. These little corner pieces, I've got some replacements with the chrome trim, plus the trim to go across the front of the hood. And both of these are kind of rough. The balance is on. The balance is kind of rough. It needs to be either straightened out or replaced, but I'll get to that sooner or later. But the next project for the day is to get the LED turn lights or tail lights put in it. I've got some of those that you can do the sequential and all that stuff on, but yeah, that's my little project for the day to get that done. Okay, what I have are brand new reproduction Demon taillight lenses. These are 71, 72 Demon only. These are, I think, about 310 shipped. Taillight stuff is all Digitails, 71, 72 Demon. You get a new digital flasher to go with everything, because a standard flasher with digital and this LED stuff, there's not enough amp draw to actually make those work. Got some clips and Velcroed stuff, plugs for plugging these. If I can go upside down here. You got to plug all of this stuff up. Get a decal, all the wiring, and what they want you to do is tap all of this wiring into the factory stuff, and just kind of string it out, which really looks like a big mess. But what I'm going to do is, I've got some of these pigtails that you can actually plug into. This is for 1157 bulbs. You can actually plug these in and wire them into all of this mess, and make a nice clean install so it doesn't look so bad. But there's another wiring harness, spaghetti, more wiring for stuff. But I'm going to make this nice and clean so it looks more like all original wiring, so nothing is really sticking out of place and looks like crap because all the factory wiring, I don't know if that's gonna, there it is, all the factory wiring down through here, I'll make it all look like factory stuff instead of like spaghetti like this. Now these Digitails, you can do a sequential or you can do a non-sequential, and the sequential, the lights kind of flicker and go across as you're making a turn or to one side or the other. For the stoplights, they just come on bright, but the turn signals is sequential, like the it was like the 67, 68, 69 Cougars, I believe, had the sequential, and some of these late model Mustangs, they do this sequential and stuff on them, but Digitails makes these for Demons. I think they're about $200 for the kit. I've actually had these for a while, so I'll get everything installed today and get that little part of the project done and get this thing one closer to being actually a complete driving car again. I've got the taillights apart. These are the best lenses I had. I got a bunch of lenses in the housings with the car. This is the area that the Digitails is going to go into. It doesn't matter, but this is where the backup light is at. And I need to get some silver paint or something to make it a little more reflective. Somebody shot some gold paint or something in this one. It's actually reflective, not bad. But this one definitely, they both need to be painted with something, so I may have to go run and get a can of chrome paint or silver or something to make these look a little better, so they reflect light for the, that's for the reverse light, so they'll reflect light a little bit better. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go get some paint, get these fixed up first before I can really go any further, because these do look pretty bad. Okay, got these painted up. There's 3 brackets that hold this in place. Since the Demon lights have the 4 individual cells, you have the 4 individual cells. And for the sequential, they'll kind of go whatever direction, left or right, when you put the turn signals on. So I've got both these done up. I found some reflective paint, as they called it. They have a chrome cap on it, but it's not really chrome. But sprayed that down, let it dry pretty good. That will help out with the reverse lights. I'm going to put LED bulbs in there so they're really nice and bright backup lights. But I'll get these stuck in and then put the new lenses in, and these will be ready to go back in the car. Then just comes all the wiring. I was reading up on that, and it has quite a bit of wiring involved. And then I've got to find a constant hot somewhere on the car in toward the back to tap in for these, and I don't know if I have one or not. But anyways, I'll get all these together and get them ready to go back in the car. And one thing you got to do is scrape off this paint. I didn't think about it. I did it on this one already. I kind of figured it out, but this one, you got to take the paint off and get back down to that aluminum, so the two-sided tape will actually stick to it. You can kind of see it pulled some of the paint off there, so I had to clean them up. I had to put new double-sided tape on these others, but I got it fixed. Okay, now I got all those stuck back down. They won't come off now. Now we'll get these, peel the other tape off and get those stuck in and put the lenses back on. These on these new ones, the screw holes are just a little different than the originals, but it's all new plastic, so you got to kind of drill those screws in without breaking the plastic. And the only way I could do that was I had to put 2 washers under the screw. I just didn't want to go that deep and break these things. I have $300 a pair, so that's fine. 2 little screws under there is not going to hurt anything. Alright, the new lights are in. Look a whole lot better than them old ragged, worn out lights. Got the garage door closed. Kind of hard to get a really pull back shot of all this, but they all the wiring hangs out. The housing, so I got to get all that wired up. I don't know if I'll get it done tonight or not. It may be tomorrow before I start to tackle this wiring. But anyway, that part of this little project's done, so now on to the wiring. Okay, these Digitails, I'm going to use these plugs here so I don't cut into the factory wiring harness. I don't want to mess up any of the factory stuff, so I just got to figure out how I want to get this all wired together. These plugs here. They give you a whole lot of extra length to work with, so I got to figure out how I want to run the wiring. I don't want to chop up the original stuff. I'd rather do do it with this. That way if the Digitails completely go sideways, I can pull them out and put a bulb back in it and have tail lights on this. So figure out what I want to do for some wiring here. Yeah, they show some really screwy wiring. You've actually got to tie left and right turn signals to both lights, which I guess they sense which one should be working and which one shouldn't, but I'll wire it the way they say. But I do have some power on that little plug right there. That feeds the interior light, so I gotta tap into that and run back in here for constant power. And left turn, right turn, and running lights. So that'll, and I gotta put a ground in the system. So we shall see if this actually works right or not. Harness made up. I got to get some wire loom on it and get it tucked in the car and plugged in. And this is the one wire for the power, constant power, and a ground wire. But I'll get it loomed up, get it in the car. Okay, got the harness all loomed. Got the power wire separated out. Got a connector on it, so if I ever need to just pull it off, I can. I don't have to cut it or anything, and that's a ground for both lights and both ends. So now, put it in the car and go from there. Okay, ready. I think that's the right way, hopefully. Okay, it's all tucked up in there. Now I gotta do a little better job of there. Do we see that? We got the ground wire hooked up. Still got to do the positive lead from up there. So that's next. Let's see if shoot, I think that was upside down. Well, anyway, I'll find out when I do the video. But I've got it all tucked in. Not too bad. But getting that plugged in next is what's coming up. Yeah, yesterday turned into a big mess. Was wiring the power wire for the lights in the back, and I had no power in the back, and I could not understand why. I've completely removed that connector, but the problem was this orange wire where it connects back here. I've got it all fixed now. Where it connects in the back, for whatever reason, the connector wasn't passing power from the wire, which gave me no power to these back here. So I pulled all the wiring out up front, trying to figure out what was going on. All of this wiring was good. But that stupid little connector was the issue. And the wife walked up and I forgot what I was talking about. But anyway, all this wiring is okay. I've got to tuck it all back in. But I turned the lights on last night, and rather than starting on the inside and working out when they flash, it goes the other way. So apparently I put these in backwards. I've got to check and see if I did that or not. I don't think that I did, but I'll find out here in just a minute. Well, now the issues just don't stop coming. So now the problem I have is, see that little connector right down in there. Phone doesn't want to focus on it, but that little connector has this harness plugged into it. But right at the end, the little nub that goes on the end of that clips over the connector in there is non-existent. So that won't stay in. So trying to get a hold of Digitails, they don't answer their phones. you get the voice, you get the voicemail and stuff, but they don't let you leave messages. So your only recourse is to email them, which I did, see if I can get another harness. And I don't know how businesses stay in business when they do this. Mr. Moparts, which is local here in Arizona, is one supply place for a lot of these pieces and stuff that we need for these cars. Yet you can't leave them messages. They rarely answer the phone. You can place orders for parts, but they never call you and tell you, or they don't email you back and say, this is not available, we have to order it, and whatever. And then you wait 3 or 4 or 5, 6 months before you get the part. I don't know how companies stay in business doing this, but they do somehow. Anyway, I'm going to put this back on, put a little dab of silicone in there, let it dry to kind of hold it in place so I can drive the car. And now I just have to wait to hear back from Digitails and see what they have to say. Okay, this is my little quick fix for now. Nah, it's not going to focus. Anyway, there's a little bit of ultra gray silicone on that connector. I'll let that dry up, and hopefully that'll stay in long enough so I get the new part. Alright, got everything done here. Got all my wiring straightened up. I had quite a mess in here. Just kind of stuck everything in here so I can get the car running and get it going. I had some electrical issues in that little spaghetti mess. I lost power to the whole car, and the connector was just loose. And I plugged the connector back on. I've got power back, but engine's pretty filthy. It's got to get cleaned up. We got a car show coming up next weekend, so got to get this cleaned up. I still have a transmission service to do. Transmission's working fine, but I just don't know how old the fluid and stuff is that's in it. Got the turn signals all working correctly. We have a left turn up front, left turn on the indicator, and we have a left turn sequential on the back of the car like it's supposed to be. The right side works just fine like it's supposed to. They, for some reason, they thought they had just the plates backwards on the markings on them, but they were not backwards. Everything was just kind of messed up, but it's all fixed. They work correctly now. But yeah, that's kind of it for these projects for now. Like I said, I got the transmission service to do. I've got some other little small things to do, but yeah, we're going to the car show. We're leaving Thursday. Car show actually starts on Saturday morning. Friday afternoon, they've got a cruise down to the casino that's kind of sponsoring the car show. I think this is the 28th year or something like that, but it's in Pine Top, Arizona. Runs 8 to 4 on Saturday, then 8 to 12, I believe it was, on Sunday. But yeah, this thing's been 16 months to get the engine swap done, and that's not working on it every day. I mean, it's hot in this garage. I got a cooler plugged through the wall. That makes a big difference. But it's finally where I can drive it. We got one drive-in earlier in the week. Ran into town and back. It's about 25-30 mile round trip, but everything went good. But we will, I guess that's kind of it for now on this thing. And I got a couple other projects for some other people I got to do, get those done. Then I have a whole nother project I got to start on. I've had that one for quite a long time, but anyway, that's it for now on this one.